Drop 2025. This is a mystery thriller film. It's a US film, according to when I looked it up, and it's set in Chicago, but in the credits I noticed it was filmed in Ireland. Um, Now someone appears early on, which I forgot about until I checked, but even when the face is revealed later on, I didn't quite get it, probably because of my prosopagnosia, don't recognize faces very easily. So there's quite a few characters, well, not that many, but there are, um, it's a sort of, because it's a thriller set in one single location for most of the film. Um, you do get to know the characters. I don't think you get really to know the names of the people, but, I've looked them up and, well, I mean, Violet, she's the protagonist. She's, a widowed single mother, and we're introduced to her, in another scenario where, her ex, um, is um, tormenting her, and so she gets these sort of flashbacks to um, an awful situation. Um, and actually, at the start, I'm not really clear if that was something that was going to come up later, if that was just something in the future, or as it seemed to appear afterwards, a flashback. Um, the other characters are so Violet's played by Megan Fahy. There's Henry, who is played by Brendan Sklenar, and then there's other restaurant people, like there's Richard Reed Diamond and Matt, played by Jeffrey Self. Matt is one of the surfers, and there's Jen, who played by Violet Bean, who's no, yeah, Violet. Oh, yeah, because Violet is the protagonist's name, but Jen is Violet's younger sister, and she's looking after her son, Violet's son, Toby, this evening while she goes on this date. She's has jitters about going on the date. She's not sure, and Jen doesn't really completely help by criticizing her clothing, saying she looks like a candy cane, that sort of stuff. Guess that's what sisters do, but it's a bit mean, and it doesn't. I mean, I don't know. I don't go on dates, so I don't know. I gather that they're really tense situations anyway, and Violet goes to this. She lives in the middle of downtown, or close to downtown Chicago. But she reminds herself when she gets to this high-end restaurant, and it's literally a high-end restaurant. It's up at the top of a tower, with an amazing view. Um, and um, when she arrives there, she gets a taxi there or something. She looks up and she says, "It's only a date. Nothing's bad's going to go wrong." Um, but then she goes in through the lift and the lobby, and she goes up, has a drink, and then goes through to the actual restaurant, and um, accidentally bumps into um, another restaurant goer, a customer, and drops her phone, and he picks it up and gives it to her, and that's either non sequitur, a sort of red herring, or it's a sign of what's to come because the person might be implicated. So you get suspicious about certain characters because when a date arrives, that's Henry, um, she gets very preoccupied with her phone because she starts getting these digi drops, which kind of like text and text and video messages that are short range. They're over Bluetooth, I guess. I guess it's very similar to bluejacking. That was a thing in the noughties. I thought it's probably an updated version of that, but I've looked it up and DigiDrop seems to be very similar to airdrops. And so I was wondering about that. Why on earth would you have your phone to accept airdrops or any kind of digidrops from people you don't recognize? So I checked my own phone and it is set only for my contacts. And even then, I'm sort of thinking maybe, I mean, you can set it to accept messages for the next 10 minutes from everyone. But I think the reducing it to either accepting no messages except when you want to is probably the most sensible thing. And lots of people use things like WhatsApp now. I don't know. But Violet, like so many people, is very preoccupied with her phone. She's looking at it a lot. And people do. And I really consciously try not to. I do keep my phone with me, but whenever I'm on the street or on public transport, anything like that, you see people, half the other occupants of a bus or tube or train or anything are using um, are staring at their phones. More people doing that than reading books. More people. I mean, I tend to do a lot of observing, just looking around. I don't tend to like looking at my phone when I'm on a train or anything. I mean, I do when it's long distance train journey, if it's several hours. But um, I don't know. It's just um, Violet. She's got a young son. She's nervous. I don't know how often her sister's looked after him, but you think to have a proper date, you don't really want to just be staring at your phone because that's a major distraction. But she does check at least with Henry. She sort of says, "Do you mind if I keep my phone on the table?" So at least she does that. She checks, but she gets all these digi drops. Someone wanting to play a game. Henry thinks it's just some kids pranking her. It's got to be someone within, well, they say 50 meters. I mean, I thought it was just 10, no, 50 feet, 10 meters, well, 30 feet. But I think that could allow for someone on a different floor or out of sight to do it. But they're trying to figure out who is sending these messages. And you got these key ideas, key suspects amongst the restaurant staff. And um, I mean, there's no, there's, well, I don't know, there's a lot depends on cellular devices, and I get that. And there's the domestic violence angle, and that's good that it comes up in films. And one of the staff, I think her name's Cara, waiting staff. Um, she just check with Violet, but of course, getting the wrong idea because everything is on the phone, and there's this awful situation going on at her home, and the sort of nanny cam video is showing that it is happening. Um, part of me was also thinking, well, of course, it could be AI. It could be, I mean, there's so many other possibilities now, but just getting so involved, I think um, some of the things that happen that tested my idea of believability of this film included when something quite drastic happens, you'd think that'd be enough to close the restaurant, and it doesn't. And it's like, well, I don't know. It's slightly. I mean, they get the date seems to be falling apart and then comes together, and that felt tenuous at times. There's certain things that I just thought, I'm not really sure. But even so, the film kept my attention quite a lot. It was quite good in the thriller aspect, even if the believability kind of fell apart a bit, more to than my liking. There's no LGBTQIA plus content or angle in this, unless one of the waiting staff is perhaps a little camp or at least nervous and uses humour. I don't know. It's really, I don't, you know, or I know overanalyze that. But one thing I noticed from the trailer is that it's the same um, filmmakers, the same people who brought us Happy Death Day. And that's a film I would like to revisit and produce a review over because I liked it when I first saw it, but I wonder if I'm getting more cynical and harder to accept things in terms of plausibility now than when I first saw that. I don't know. But so there's a lot that's happening in this film, and it is. I mean, so much is the comms, the digital stuff, the cell phones, the you know the that's what um, holds the film together, and um, I think I would put my phone away even if um, if I had you know, I had someone who's babysitting who I trusted, I'd leave them to get on with it, and if need be, they could ring. Wouldn't be using the nanny cam and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know. Um, but um, yeah, the plausibility gets even more stretched right at the end, and um, just the final bits and even the last um, segment, which is in a hospital with this, um, you know, someone. I won't say what it is, but it involves digi-drops again, and I thought that's almost like, why on earth would anyone do that? You know, I think given there'd be, I mean, anyone who was targeted in this way, um, you know, whether in a hospital or anywhere else, they would panic, and it would just be like, it's just not fair. It's just, I think the tone of it, it would just be irresponsible. But I don't know. There's a, and it's hard to explain that without revealing too much. Um, but yeah, there was some stuff that caused me to think, well, I'm going to lower the score of this. So I think I will give it 7.5 out of 10. So it's right in the middle. It's like it's still got enough interest for me to have enjoyed watching it, but the 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 things that annoyed me certainly did annoy me, and it was just like I can't really see people it actually happening in real life. But okay, you know, should that let that get in the way of a good story? I don't know. Um, so, um, it was drawn out as well. I get that's the other criticism. It's 91 minutes, it's not a hugely long film, but I think towards the end I was thinking, "It's still going on," and it was just like, when you get to find out who's behind the, messages and who's behind, um, the the other element of the threat in this film. Oh, I don't know. It just I felt, what is is it really sh should is it worth, is it really worth it? I mean, I'm gonna give it a score of 7.5, but some parts of it I just thought, I think I would like to I'm going to see it with a friend at some point in the future just to see what how other people react to it. So I'd also like to hear your thoughts if you see this film. So, thanks for watching this review. Please like if you like this review. Thanks if you subscribe. Please hit the notification button. Please leave a comment. Um, Thanks for watching. Hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.